Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Year 2 is when you can see a lot of NFL players make a jump after learning everything they learned from their rookie years, getting a chance to breathe during the offseason, and Derrick Harmon certainly will be counted on to make a big jump in year number 2. Let's look at his run defense, how good it was, and remind ourselves what he can offer this team in 2026. So, let's talk about Derrick Harmon. Before we do that, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate that. This is week 4 against Minnesota in Dublin, so early in Harmon's career. Missed the first 2 games with that MCL injury. We're going to see 3rd and 1, short yardage moment. Harmon take on the center, hold the point of attack here, and prevent Minnesota from getting that yard I'm sure they expected and obviously hoped to earn. You're going to kind of get this down block here from the center. You see the right guard even have trouble climbing here initially as Harmon crashes down inside. You're just trying to really slope that back, not give him any sort of daylight. Help obviously arrives, and Pittsburgh's defense swarms, converges, and gets the stop. Now Minnesota did convert on the 4th down play, the ensuing snap here, but just a nice job by Harmon. Can kind of see it from the aerial view. You see Harmon hold that point of attack, and the runner is stopped just short of the stick. So big time situational moment. Harmon using that explosiveness off the ball, creating some traffic, collecting the center of the right guard, and then holding the point of attack until help arrives. Week 6 against Cleveland, we're going to see Harmon between right guard and right tackle and really do a nice job. Run defense, getting his arms extended, keying the ball. We talk about run defense, you want to create space between you and the blocker. We're going to see him here against 78, the right tackle. Create that space, use his length to be able to key the ball. You want to be able to have that space. If you're too chest to chest, you're going to lose vision on the football. And this is a great chance and posture for Harmon to be able to hold the point of attack and shed if need be, but really force that back. You can't go straight ahead. Up the middle, has to bounce and try to cut. And there just really is no running room for Judkins. So good job here. It's good run defense around across the board, whether you're talking Queen or Watt or Holcomb or Benton or Hayward. There really is no gap, no lane for the running back to hit. But Harmon's certainly doing his job here, locking out with that left, his outside hand in this case, into the chest, keeping that offensive lineman at bay, and then defense makes the tackle. I don't think Harmon officially got the tackle here, I don't think, but you see the impact, and obviously in Pittsburgh, defensive linemen, their impact's going to go beyond just what the stat sheet says. Later against the Browns, we're going to see Harmon again in this B-gap between right tackle and right guard. We're going to see this combo blocks. We've kind of seen some kind of single base blocks. Now we're going to see this combo, this double. Initially, the right guard, right tackle to Harmon, the right guard, eventually climbing to the linebacker. We're going to see Harmon do a great job to take that on, not getting pushed off the ball, not getting turned out. Use his hands really well here. You see him get left hand on the tackle, the right hand on the guard, really hold that point of attack, even slips. The field was a mess this day at Acrisure, but hold the point of attack here, find the ball, and just no running room at all as Pittsburgh's defense really suffocated Cleveland in this game. So just a great job here by Harmon. Take on that double initially. Combo works itself to the second level. Now you're one-on-one. You're finding the ball. You're creating that space, using your length. You're keying it, getting your head across, and just shedding. Watt doing the same here, and there's just no lane for the running back. So Pittsburgh, ideal run defense on this play. This play is more subtle against the Chargers. It was a pretty bad game for Pittsburgh, but want to take a look at Harmon on this rep, and it's just securing your gap. Often doing your job is 90% of run defense. Doing your job, doing it effectively. If everyone does their job, you're going to have a good day overall. And we're going to see Harmon initially line up here in the B gap between right guard, right tackle, kind of really classic 3-tech, not even kind of inside shade, 4-eye on the right tackle, but he's going to have to secure the A-gap between center and right guard, have to kind of shoot and slant down and secure that off the snap. When he does that, gets his head across, fills it, keeps the back wide, keeps him lateral, and it's a couple yard gain by the Chargers, but nothing too crazy, but just doing your job. So we're going B-gap to A-gap on this play. Harmon not getting reached, not getting turned out. If he does, there's going to be a crease for the running back to hit, to accelerate, to get vertical, as opposed to having to bounce here laterally and then try to get upfield again. We're going to see it here. A-gap's gone. Back has to then bounce, cut right here, slows him down. He's going lateral at this point, not getting vertical, not getting yards. And then Pittsburgh fills it well. That's Ramsey filling on this play. And the run doesn't go for much. And so subtle thing here, but just do your job. Be assignment sound for a rookie on the road, even though it was the Chargers. Not exactly the most daunting road venue, but just a nice job here by Harmon. One last look. So we've seen Harmon be a big body and sort of clog gaps. This one is a little different variation of other facets to run defense. We're going to see Harmon here between, as he usually is, right guard, right tackle. He's going to fill the B gap here, using his arms, getting extended, holding his gap, but then being able to swim off of that too. So now we're shedding, not just kind of really occupying the space and just kind of being a big mass in the middle for the running back to try to get around. We're going to use some athleticism here, be able to kind of club over and shed over the top here and make this tackle. And you get the initial miss in the backfield, and Harmon stops this run from potentially getting out. And so we're going to see Harmon here. We're going to see Queen come downhill, can't make the tackle as he's filling downhill on the fullback on this lead play. And then Harmon off the block and helps make the stop. And so you're kind of seeing the athleticism, the hand use to lock out initially, hold your gap, and then we're going to swim, beat the block, and go make the tackle. So we're kind of getting all elements of run defense as opposed to just holding the point of attack. We're doing that, adding the extra layer of shedding the block here like a pass rusher and making the play. Let's go to the wildcard game against Houston and Harmon. Now we're going to go back to sort of old school two-gapping principles. We're going to see Harmon here against 77, the right tackle, and we're going to see him be able to two-gap and occupy both the B gap and the C gap on this play. So this is very much the old school Pittsburgh two-gapping scheme and call on this play. We're going to see the snap on this run. We're going to see Harmon initially hold the B gap here. We're going to see him get his head across. We're going to see Nick Chubb, in part because Queen gets off the block too. Chubb's going to bounce this one outside, and Harmon then swims across, takes away that as well. So he's occupying the B and C gaps on this play. Does a nice job with both. And so initially here, holding the point of attack, taking away the A gap, forcing the running back to bounce again. You want the back to be lateral, not be able to get downhill. And then once he sees that, swimming, beating the block, and making the primary tackle on this play. So that is very much what Pittsburgh needs from its defensive linemen. How much will things change for the new coaching staff? We'll see, but certainly those core tenets will remain. Last clip we'll look at, and I wanted to show some different elements of run defense. We looked at some two-gapping, him shedding some blocks. How about backside pursuit? So important in this game, the zone systems that are so popular, inside zone, outside zone, that cutback lane. We're going to see Harmon here between left tackle and left guard, and just float on the line, prevent that cutback by the runner on this play. And so initially, we're going to see Harmon, he's got outside the tackle responsibility on this play. So there's A gap, B gap, C gap. We're going to see Harmon initially sort of work the C gap here, protect sort of the edges of this play, sees this run go away as the tackle, Taylor Decker, trying to reach him and does initially, but then Harmon works down the line here and is able to make the tackle. So nice foot speed, nice closing speed, even for a big man. It's important on a play like this. And so can you flow from the backside? Can you prevent that cutback lane if Harmon was reached, if he was cut off? Really see that crease for the runner to get upfield and potentially make a big play. And that's Jamar Gibbs, of course, a really strong, talented running back. So if Harmon isn't there, even though the front side's doing his job, the backside cut looks open, and Gibbs probably hits it. A little bit of contact here from Benton, but don't want to find out what happens if Harmon isn't there. If he gets through that gap, then it's just Chuck Clark and Gibbs away from the end zone, and Harmon is able to shut this thing down. It's a decent run by the Lions, but nothing crazy. And again, this run does not get out into a potentially big play. And so Harmon doing a nice job here to avoid getting reached, working down the line, and making the tackle. So Derrick Harmon, really good run defense as a rookie. Going back through the tape early in the season, might have been a little bit tougher, a little bit rougher as a rookie. You missed the start of the year trying to catch that moving train, but really got better as the season went along. And you've seen some of the splits in numbers with Harmon, active and playing versus when he was hurt, how much better the run defense was. You can look at individual breakdowns and numbers that we've looked at, yards per carry, things like that, that all show a much more positive trend of Pittsburgh's run defense when Harmon is on the field versus when he is not. You expect that to continue. I want to see the pass rush improve. I think there's certainly a lot more to go in this game for that, but run defense is where it all starts in Pittsburgh. It has not been good enough overall the last 2 seasons, and so that's where run defense has to begin, the foundation of your defensive unit, and Harmon, I think, certainly has Pittsburgh ready to go in a positive direction. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.